Welcome to Carol and Gary's See America Tour. Hello everyone. Well, Carol, Jasper, and I made it to Little Rock, Arkansas. As I said in the previous video, due to the problems with the 30-foot driver's side slider on the motorhome, we decided to forego our second week in the Ozarks and head straight to Little Rock, where an RV dealer called Camping World is willing to look at the problem this Wednesday and hopefully repair it. We bought our motorhome at a Camping World, and it's where we bought our extended maintenance contract. I will talk about the meeting at Camping World on Wednesday after our appointment. So with Camping World scheduled, we decided to take Jasper and go see the Big Dam Bridge on Monday. No, seriously, that's what they call it, Big Dam Bridge. It's the longest bridge in the United States built specifically for pedestrians and bicyclists, and the second longest pedestrian bicycle bridge in the United States, which sounds like the longest bridge must have been another bridge that was converted to pedestrians and cycling. Anyway, this Big Dam Bridge is 14 feet wide and has 4,226 linear feet of bridge and ramps. It's elevated 90 feet above the lock and dam on the Arkansas River. Here is a view looking up the river from the bridge. Here's a view looking down the river from the bridge. One of the issues that divided the United States before the Civil War was slavery. Most southern states believed in slavery while the northern states did not. After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was passed in December 1865, abolishing slavery. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was passed in 1870, giving citizenship and equal rights to all citizens. In 1896, the U.S. Supreme Court heard the case of Plessy versus Ferguson. The court decided that separate but equal was okay. Then in a 1954 Supreme Court ruling, it was decided that separate but equal was not working in the public school system. In Little Rock, this meant that the all-white Central High School needed to allow blacks to attend. Approximately 20 black students applied to transfer to Central High School for the 1957-1958 school year, but these students and their families immediately began receiving threats. By the time the school year started, all but 9 of the students had retracted their application for transfer. On September 2, 1957, with black versus white tension building between parents, the governor of Arkansas ordered the Arkansas National Guard to bar black students from entering Central High School for their safety. On September 3, 1957, the first day of school, a mob gathered in front of the school. None of the black students appeared. On September 4, 1957, the Arkansas National Guard barred black students from entering the school. One black student who didn't get the word to stay away was harassed by the mob. On September 20, 1957, a federal judge ruled against using the National Guard to block students. Little Rock police were given the job to protect the students. On September 23, 1957, the Little Rock Nine entered the school. Police could not maintain order. Riots ensued. Students had to leave the school through a side entrance in a police car. On September 24, 1957, President Eisenhower federalizes the Arkansas National Guard and sends 1,200 U.S. Army soldiers to Little Rock. On September 25, 1957, black students entered Central High School escorted by soldiers. On September 26, 1957, the Arkansas governor appears on television saying that we are not an occupied territory. U.S. troops were removed in November. The Little Rock Nine endured physical and verbal abuse throughout the year. On May 25, 1958, the first black student graduated from Central High School. The reason that only one graduated was that of the 9, 1 was enrolled as a senior, 5 enrolled as juniors, and 3 as sophomores. In the years that followed, the remaining 8 students would also graduate. Carol and I drove to Central High School on June 5th. Although now out for the summer, the school has approximately 2,000 students enrolled. On the corner across the street, a visitor center run by the U.S. Park Service has been established to provide education and limited tours to the school. Carol and I listened to recorded interviews detailing constant harassment, spitting, and name-calling every day that the black students attended Central High School. All of the students were told when they started Central High School that they could not retaliate. But nothing happened to the white students unless a white teacher witnessed the abuse and was willing to report it. Many of the white teachers were against the black students being there, so this was a very hostile environment. Although I was 3 years old when this actually happened, I remember learning about it in high school. But being white and living in the northern half of the United States, I can't say that it sunk in until this half-day tour today. These kids went through total hell, and yet none of them quit. Today is June 6th, the day we've been waiting for to take our motorhome to Camping World. We got some good news and some bad news at Camping World. The good news is that the repairs minus our $50 deductible will be covered by our extended maintenance contract. The bad news is that Camping World found that the gears that move the slider in and out are slipping and have stripped the track that the slider travels on. They want to replace all hardware attached to the slider, but don't have the hardware in stock, so we agreed to wait 2 weeks for it to arrive from the manufacturer. We were originally booked to stay in the campground where we are now, next week anyway, but we have decided to be conservative and stay a 3rd week so that nothing happens to the slider and that we are ready for installation shortly after the parts arrive. I have already canceled our reservations in Hot Springs, which was supposed to be our next stop. But I have booked a week in another campground in Little Rock because even though this campground is along the Arkansas River, is beautiful and quiet, they do not have Wi-Fi, and that's killing me. On June 7th, Carol and I toured the original state capital of Arkansas. It is pictured behind the fountain. By 1820, westward migration has increased the population of the Arkansas Territory to the point that they knew they would soon be becoming a state. After plans for the capital were drawn up, construction began in 1833. In 1836, when Arkansas became a state, the building was not yet completed, but the legislators went ahead and moved in anyway. After Abraham Lincoln was elected to the presidency, the Arkansas State House hosted a series of debates and votes about whether to join the new Confederate States of America. This culminated into Arkansas seceding from the United States on May 6, 1861. The building then became the Confederate State capital of Arkansas until 1863, when Little Rock was captured by Union troops and the State House became the Union military headquarters and capital of the state. The building remained the place of business for the Arkansas governor, legislature, and Supreme Court until 1911, when construction was completed on the current state capitol and the government moved to the new building. The old State House housed a number of other agencies and functions through the 20th century. It served as the Arkansas War Memorial, became the first home of the Arkansas State Police, and held the office of a number of other statewide patriotic organizations. In 1947, the old State House was made a museum, and because of that, there wasn't much to see about Arkansas history. There was a large display of gowns worn by former First Ladies of Arkansas, but apparently because of some construction, the area was poorly lit, so we couldn't take any pictures. The old State House was placed on the National Registry of Historic Places in 1969 and designated a National Historic Landmark in 1997. President-elect Bill Clinton gave his 2 acceptance speeches from this building in 1991 and 1995. It's Saturday, June 9th. I don't normally add video on Saturdays because it takes all day Saturday to finalize a video from the previous week and upload it, but with our schedule in turmoil and no internet, I'm going to go see if I can find a public library and get this video uploaded today. I probably will not post a video next week until we get back on our schedule and have internet available. Thanks for watching.